Yo, holy crap, Dave. It's 12:30 your time, eh? Whew. Welcome, y'all. Sean Clark, you were indeed first. Rob, Carlos, Peter T. Phil, while changing a flat tire. That sucks out loud. Filipino Reefer. Scotty. Brymac. Mother, Father. Savage Reefer from the UK. Stand up late for one. What's up, y'all? What was I doing last week? Last week I was sitting on my butt, growing my belly, eating some food, chilling in a cabin in Western Maryland with my parents, watching some snow. There was still snow on the ground. It was kind of chilly. It was nice. It was a good trip. So, let's just get to it. I was thinking recap first. We could, and I got to make sure the GoPro, actually, let me make sure the GoPro is working because I didn't play with it. Yep. Need to make sure that that thing was working. But I want to play with this. We're going to take this apart. I wish you can't see that. You can see that. Look. You've almost spent $80 on the light. You could at least put the damn stickers on straight. Sloppy. So when they say it's assembled in the U.S., maybe we'll get to this. When they say it's assembled in the U.S., do they mean they put the stickers on? Because I think that's what they mean. I know. It's sassy. My expectations are too high. And I'm sure that's a me problem. But seriously. Can you imagine if this stuff was like mainstream and like most of society bought stuff like this, what they would have to say? Come on. We got UK and we have Australia at 7:30 in the morning. No, it's 6:30 in the morning now, isn't it? What's up, Lauren? Another colored Jabo. Oh, Peter, you know what? I let you down. I should have. Joey, the king of DIY, he bought one. At least that's the word on the street. That should be pretty interesting. Rob's calling me Papa. I think maybe that's a reference to that. Maybe. So, let's do recap. Also, my audio... Oh, look, I learned how to fade. My audio, but I still can't stop that from moving, should be louder. Is it too loud? Because I'm totally peaking, and I can see that I'm peaking. Give me a heads up on what the audio sounds like, and I can turn that down. If I'm like, then I'll knock it down a little bit. Tell me, please. It's 11:30 tomorrow for me, dude. Taylor, congratulations, my man, and some other stuff. So, what's up, Lynn? I'm trying to fix my 3D printer. Oh, I need to go buy one. They have them in stock in Rockville. And that price is good until the 8th, right? I need to go make that happen. Oh, I should have done that today. Thanks, Lauren. Okay, we're going to leave this all peaky. It's peaking. Whatever, we'll leave it. The request last week was turn up your audio, fool. So I listened. Moki, Inappropriate Reefer. What are you cooking, Rob? Hold on. What's for dinner? Don't say clam chowder. Don't say clam chowder. Oh, Rob was super slick and he dropped one of them BRS codes in his chat. That was hilarious. All right, Rob will catch up now. So, this is the clam that Inappropriate Reefer gave me. This is a tiny little baby. I don't know what kind of clam. Clam people know what kind of clam it is, but it's still alive, and I'm pretty psyched about that. Yeah, Taylor. Right on. I don't know. We'll see if it grows. We'll see if I stop screwing up my tank and stuff and see what happens. But I'm pretty happy to have a clam. Anytime I get a clam, it's coming from Moki. I had his big one there for a long time until he got his Stuffed pork chops. That sounds tasty. Given you're a Wisconsin boy, do you also roll in with a little bit of apple or apple sauce? We need to know. What's up, Kyle? So happy to have that clam. Looking forward to seeing what that thing does. This was probably Black Friday stuff, but these were HQST 100 watt 4-pack solar panels. You need some other stuff to pull this off, but this was a pretty good price. So for $350, you get 400 watts of solar. Hook that up to a couple of different things and some batteries, and you're good to go. Duressa. Yeah, little baby clam. Oh, the baby clam is drinking some milk. Hellcat production. Womp womp. It's going to end in 2023 because I think Mopar, and I've talked about this a little bit, they're going to come out with their EV. And I fully expect that EV to be a beast and just tromp any of these big old gas guzzling wannabe muscle cars. It's going to be pretty interesting to see which way that kind of stuff goes. So, did we talk about this? I don't think we did. Tesla, maybe we did. SpaceX sent up a vehicle to go push a meteor out of the way to test that. Because they just want to test it before it happens. Elon says that 50% of his tweets are sent from the pooper. Neil deGrasse Tyson, astrophysicist at the New York Hayden Planetarium, says that comes to 8,000 tweets over 12.5 years. If you do the math, that means you poop twice a day. Now, that's assuming... No, that may be right. Because, it's Neil. U.S. Air Force put out a new commercial, and they slipped in a little SR-72 render, which is cool. Excited for that. Occasionally, and cranberries. Oh, nice. Cranberries with your apples. And your pork chops. It's a very Midwest thing to do, and it's pretty tasty. Looking for LED lighting recommendations for an SPS dominant tank currently running T5s. Travis, you have any other lighting on there, or is it just T5s? And you're looking to make the shift? Is that your idea there? Oh, not the missile. That's funny. So, fun story. I was an extra in Armageddon. I'm this little blurry thing. Yeah, movies are fun. Without killing the bank account, need to know size of the... Oh, this one got me a little bit of heat. This is how, and in my UK and my Australian friends will absolutely, maybe, almost think this is funny, but this is how I feel about bulk reef supply dropping codes. And an interesting thing, Greg Carroll said during one of his live streams that bulk reef supply was not getting the reaction, or it wasn't doing for bulk reef supply what they wanted it to do, so they killed that program early, which I found pretty interesting. I wonder what the story is behind that, because when they hit $35 codes, they just stopped. They had not intended to just stop. Just T5s over West Size Tank. Yeah, Taylor, you got me. I don't like codes. Don't do codes. Do student discounts. We talked about that. Do student discounts. Do student discounts. If I Beetlejuice it, Ryan will listen, right? Do mailers. Go old school and throw it in a mail. Say, thank you for being a customer. We're thankful for you. Thank you for being a bulk reef supply customer throughout the year. Here's $10 off. Here's $15 off to all whatever who have ordered. That would be a sweet way to distribute that, right? And then we, like I said, rolled up to Western Maryland, rocking the minivan. Knocked the cobwebs off the old minivan, jumped in. It didn't break. Pretty excited about that. Oh, Can I show that here? Probably not. We did a little. Oh, can I show that too? We did a little. We did a little fun while we were up there. Here's the boy with a bow. The boy's pretty accurate with a bow. He digs that. This is. We don't have to watch this. This is me destroying my son at a swim. Obviously, look at me. Look at me in the near lane, just ruining my kid's day while he swims back and I swim free. I obviously destroyed him. He can't keep up with this. This is no accident. There's no way. It's photoshopped. I totally destroyed him. Red Sea 625 XXL. Travis, you have Instagram? Do you hang out with me there? Roger that, pew pew. 625 XXL. 5x2x2. 5x2x2. And budget? Hit me up with a budget. I'm kicking you, Dave. You're no longer an admin here. You don't have rights anymore. You're done. It's past your bedtime. Aren't you tired? We have some local stores here that support high school marine biology. See? Yes, that's the way it should be. That's what I do here with the middle school. I don't know if the middle school here and that teacher can work out anything with LFSs here, but I certainly would be happy to help. That's the boy playing with some stuff. And then I got home and posted a picture of corals like I like to do. Hey, Dave, you can't do this stuff, can you? Is this stuff allowed in Australia? I wonder. Everything in the display looked pretty good. Glass is dirty. I normally just shoot that top down after I scare away the big fish so nobody sees what's in there. I might be the only reefer not interested in fancy rimless tanks. No, Kyle, because you know what this tank is? It's not a fancy. It's a 45-gallon cube, a whole lot like Moki used to have. And it is, I don't know what it is. It's a big box store crappy tank with a rim. I don't have, the only rimless tanks I have are the Fluval Spec 3, 2 of those, and a Fluval Spec 5. Every other tank I have is rimmed. I don't have any nice tanks here. We don't do that here. That's just silly. People spend that kind of money? I don't get it. Yeah, Taylor. Remy does a good job. Reef Breeders V2 Pros is... That's interesting, Carlos. Hey, UKers, what do you guys call those? Evergrows? Because they're just imports, right? I think they're imports. There are, let's see, who is it? Reef Dork. Reef Dork does really well with his Evergrow V2. I don't know the difference between a V2 and a V2 Pro, Carlos. You know? I should check one of those out. Nuisance Pets. Yeah, this tank here. This tank's crap. This is a hand-me-down from a friend of mine. He gave me this tank. He's like, here, grow some stuff. Yeah, Evergrow. Evergrow has good luck. Dave, have you seen Reef Dorks? You haven't seen his stuff. You guys close? I wonder. I don't know my way around. I just knew we drove in a bus, and it was a cool place to go see. Yeah, so this thing, I bought one of these because I wanted to know. 2 reasons. They're really expensive for what they are, I think. And then I just wanted to see what was inside, really. I wanted to open one up. I hadn't seen one open up before. You know the new one has one. Battle Carls use Reef Breeders, I think. See, that's some interesting traction, Brimac, because if you see an online retailer using some specific light, you're apt to believe that light is good. And there's been a couple of points made lately that corals will absolutely adapt to basically any light you give them. There's nothing special about the Photon or the Evergrows. They're absolutely... It doesn't look like there's anything special, I should be clear. Maybe one day I'll grab one. PRS did a good test on it. It kind of shows you what it's capable of. Don't pay attention to their dynamic spectrum testing because it's all crap. But, I need to show that. I need to pull that light down and do a test. But I think I'd probably use that light. I would not use the Orphic bars, only because the spectrum is too wide on that bar. So you've got at least 5 different diodes spread across that bar, repeating, if not 6, across like a 24-inch bar, and that's just too wide. Because you're not going to get the same wavelength along the entire length of the light because the diodes are spread out too far. Just something to think about. I have one here. You can see it. 3-watt LED bulbs of specific wavelengths. Kyle, are you US? Because you can do that from Amazon. Lynn threw this at me one day. Hey, Lynn, you want a piece of this back or want me to take a piece and give you the big one back? Do you have this? Or did you just get it and throw it at me? Because this thing's beautiful. I still don't. I really wish... I guess I should stop talking about it because I haven't used it, but I really wish fewer lights, more lights would just use Bluetooth and just leave it alone. Yeah, I got you. I'll take care of you, Lynn. This is a Pectinia, Rob. So it's like a Space Invader, only prettier as far as I'm concerned. It's got a bunch of cool colors. Kyle, Amazon. Look up Shanzon, Chanzon. Look for 3 watts. Make sure you find something that's right around 600 milliamps. Chanzon. I got a bunch of those diodes. Oh, I meant to bring some up. I got a bunch of those diodes just laying around. Rapid LED. If Kyle's looking to... Okay, so great question. Jake brings up a really good point. If you're modifying one of the bars, like the Ali bars, use Shanzon. If you're going to make your own, shop over at Rapid LED. They're always really good. I definitely don't need access lights. Yeah, see, I don't think lights need to be... Actually, one of the smart things that Neptune did with the Sky is just make it Bluetooth only, because I just leave it alone. I sent you a message on IG. Like, today? Or are you one of the 4 that I haven't replied back yet? Bluetooth, because I can't control them unless I'm close to the light. Yeah, but I don't want to fiddle with lights, right? Ghost, that's kind of... I set the light and I forget. I just wander off. So, just ordered some 48-inch AliExpress bars. $390, sorry. Take the lenses off. $410, $430, $109 each. 48-inch, $109 each. Tough to beat those things. I got this thing a long time ago, and then Moki threw me some other Zoas. So, whatever. Just random pics of stuff that's in the display. Could you refresh me on the custom spectrum that you had LED wires made with? I made my own. Greg, what's your main light? Yeah, see, Carlos got it right there. You just don't need to be playing with lights. Just set them. It'd be cool. How do you feel about dosing bacteria to the tank? I do, every day. Eco-balance. Carlos, you want to jump in on this? I believe in it. I did an aquabiomics test. I have no coral. My hydros just... Come on! Your hydros has been offline for too long. Seriously, you can't make this up. I ain't making this up. Oh, darn it. Look. Hey, Travis, there's your message. Effing Coral View. What's up, Algae Warrior? I get that set and forget it, but the warehouse raceway. I got you. Some people like to have stuff on different stuff. Yeah, so back to bacteria real quick. I use EcoBalance. Dr. Tim's gives you a recommended dose, weekly dose. I just divide that by 7, and I dose that every day. I have no pathogens, no coral bacteria pathogens in my tank, confirmed with an aquabiomics test. I believe in it, and I dose it every day. I've also started doing some other stuff because my aquabiomics test said but that I'm lacking some other things. I'm dosing 2 other different bacterias, and then I also seeded my tank with 2 liters of the Inappropriate Reefers aquarium. I wanted some of his water change water, so I dumped that in there because he's got a pretty decent balanced tank. So, yeah, Rob got a couple kits. I'm going to get a couple more because I've been playing and I need to have that data. That data is super helpful. Eli will take the time. He's currently taking the time to type up a message based on the results of your tank and other data that you provided. Soft Coral Kingdom and Macroalgae, that's incredibly awesome of you. Thank you so much. Amazon crazy for a coral farm. Yeah, I know what's up with Lucas Lights. They're coming. He's he's suffering some of the same challenges as everybody else is with supply chain, but he's getting them. They'll show up. I'm not worried about those. They'll get here. See, I'm one of those bad people when it comes to waiting for stuff because I'll wait forever. I don't care. I pre-ordered a car on the internet and waited years. This laser, I pre-ordered this thing and nobody believed it was going to show up, and I waited probably 4 years before it finally showed up. I'm cool with waiting. I know it sucks when people announce things and then you got to wait a while, but you know. Hey, Peter, this is the first time I've lost the hydros, and I don't know why, so I'll have to go check it. It has not fallen offline since I added the Eero to the house, so I don't know what's going on. 3 Radeon XR15 tanks is a bit wide, and they aren't doing it anymore. So for an XR15, I assume you're running something like AB+. I would do... It has a strong 450 already. I would do 430, and I would do 470. I would just do those 2 every other. That's what I'd do. Hit me up on Instagram if you want a little more data associated with that. EcoBalance. See? Another one for EcoBalance. What? You're doing it daily. Yeah, I do it daily. I'm doing ProBio as well. Right? I'm doing that one. I'm not doing MB7 because I don't do anything. Yeah, I'm not doing MB7. Yeah, I don't do anything Brightwell. What was the other one I'm using? It was the one that Reef Dudes and Elegant Corals got together and discussed related to dinos. Now I can't remember the name of it, but whatever. Sean, I mean, my Wi-Fi woes with my Control 2, with my Hydros Control 2 are well known. I don't know why my house has signals that apparently challenge the Control 2. I've not had any problems until I put, or not had any problems since I added a new Wi-Fi mesh to my house. Kept the old one. I'm running off that right now. But I guess I still have some problem. Yeah, and anything Dr. Tim's as far as I'm concerned. You just roll through that whole... Yeah, it was Refresh and it was something else. There was a combination. I don't remember the name of it. I'd have to go look. It's another brand. It's not Tim's. But Let's see. No. Well, I mean, that's kind of what you get right now. Lynn, I also had it on my Fios router, and it didn't work there either. The Eero, it has worked, and it's connected right now. I can see that it's actually connected. Let me look. This is good radio right here, ain't it? Broken Elmo's on there. Hydros Control 2. It's right there. Hydros Control 2. It's actually connected. The webcam is probably almost not. But, you know, sometimes it happens. What's up, Luis? Thomas. Thomas, you're reminding me with your $10. Thank you very much that I have your light up here that I got to play with, huh? I need to do that. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Unnecessary, but thank you very much. You know I'll do something cool with it. Let's get back to show and tell. Oh, hey, speaking of Luca's bars. So this is 2 of his bars, and I'm not going to say which ones because I'll get it wrong. Thomas, thanks again. And Softcore Kingdom, Macroalgae, thank you very much. This is 2 of Luca's bars. It is the blue one, not just the OG Pop one, but the blue one, and one of his white bars. And he worked on this for quite a long time to get them configured so that they would look like ATI Blue Plus. ATI Blue Plus is this trace. And as far as I'm concerned, he nailed it. Now what you do is you go back and watch all of Bulk Resupply's lighting tests. And like when they had that showdown, look at the spectrum of every single light. This is the only one that nails Blue Plus. And for a long time, until the Sky was released, Blue Plus was the gold standard, right? That's what we were, Meso Blue and... Are Lucas $500 each? No. Where'd that price come from? For comparison, that's an XR30 blue lens, actually, compared to Lucas bars. And that is the Sky compared to Lucas bars. And you'll see that it really nails ATI Blue Plus, where the others can't. They just don't. That is the Fat Blue with a pH. Here's another shot of the clam. I was getting all macro on it. That's pretty cool. I like clams. Clams are fun. Hopefully I don't kill it. This is a cool video. So this is Destin from Smarter Every Day, and the point of this video, I encourage you to watch. I think it's valuable. I think Destin is totally on his game, and he has been for a very long time. The point of this video is to not lose your voice. And what he means by that, I'll paraphrase, but please watch it so you can form your own opinion. He's very clear about it, but don't forget who you are. Don't forget how you talk. Don't forget how you want to present yourself. Don't forget the message you're trying to convey, and don't bend to the pressure associated with hanging out in the social light a little bit and trying to be somebody for everybody or trying to satisfy all, because you can't do it. All right, it's just not possible. So this is a topic that I covered. It's a topic that I discuss here. It's a little lengthy. It has been suggested a couple times that I change my approach to increase my reach or make my content a little more palatable. And I'm not going to do that, because then I'm faking, right? Then I'm not who I am, and I'm not going to be fake. If people will change their content based on viewers, subscribers, followers, opinions, etc., then Like, who are they for reals? That's kind of the point of this video. Check it out. I thought it was insightful. It was smart. I mean, smarter every day, right? Destin is from the YouTube channel. He created a YouTube channel, Smarter Every Day, and I love his content. He always offers up something good. What's up, Bert? So this I posted today, and this was obviously like talking about someone else's mama. Nice timing, Bert. And Carlos was in on this a little bit. Rob was in on this a little bit. Soft Coral Kingdom and Macaraji, thank you. I don't intend on whatever. I don't make it this far in life, being who I am, polarizing at times. I get that. I can't change that. I don't want to change that. It'd be unnecessary to do that. I am of the opinion that alkalinity spikes don't kill corals. I understand that an alkalinity... What? Thank you, Peter. Thank you. I am of the opinion that an alkalinity spike or any other dip or spike or whatever in stuff that you measure in your tank can absolutely negatively impact a coral. It can beat up its defenses a little bit and make it susceptible to some other damage. But my personal opinion, pseudo data supported by the stuff I've been doing to my tank for the last year, is that the alkalinity spike itself, and I've thrown some spikes in my tank, alkalinity spikes themselves don't kill corals. So they will weaken a coral that may already be weak and make it susceptible to the bad things, the pathogens, the bad bacteria in your tank, but it's not the alk spike. To that point, and thank you, Carlos, for your help with this, but I've been dosing EcoBalance, like I mentioned earlier, for a long time now, for the better part of this year. And I don't have those pathogens in my tank based on a test. So, and on the label, it says that it is effective against Vibrio, which would be a coral pathogen. There are fish pathogens in my tank, but there are not, and my fish aren't susceptible to, like if I had a pipefish or a seahorse or something, they wouldn't be happy with the water that's in my tank. But no coral pathogens, and I attribute that to a couple of things, but I think mainly the EcoBalance. So I agree. What is an alk spike? Are you playing with me, Sean? I'll talk through it. Sleaze, that's awesome. Thank you. I didn't even think the Lucas bar might be a possibility for me. I have to get my ass off the couch and get his frac tank going. Get this frac tank. I just want to mess with anything. Yeah, I got you, Carlos. Hit him up. Talk to him. Before you make that decision, just talk to him, and you know what you're doing. Did the pH really go? Yes, it absolutely did. I can pull that up. Yeah. I think jerking around with your stability is, it's irresponsible reefing. Hi, I'm Jim. I'm irresponsible at times. But it happens, right? Sometimes, like the thing that happened to me, that was a new failure mode that I hadn't seen before. It totally makes sense, and I should have thought of it, and I didn't. And I also should have had an alternative something or other to be able to counteract that. I also didn't have alarm set when I should have. I didn't have my safeties set up, and I should have. But yeah, my pH totally hit 9.1. And I did not take the time to measure my alkalinity. The KHD pulls from the frag tank, and the frag tank was cut off from the calc dosing, and all of the calc dosing was going into display. I could use Rob's calculator, I think, and figure out what my alk was, but it was really effing high. So I hit 9.1. So whatever was happening in there happened. What I can say is my alkalinity consumption after yesterday has dropped, and I totally expect that. The corals are like, you suck, and now we're going to hang out for a little bit. So it'll probably be a month before everything gets back to normal, which sucks, but it happens from time to time. I'm only saying let's define what an alk swing is. Greater than 1 in a couple-hour period. That's what I'm saying. So I probably went from 6.5 to 12 in 4 hours. Probably something like that. Maybe 11. I didn't do the math yet. But based on what I was dosing, it went really high. I would argue that an alk spike greater than 1 over a couple-hour period is probably not good. An alk spike greater than 2. I mean, Bert talk about it. Bert could do a 1 DKH all day long, and he'll be fine. His tank will handle that fine. But if he goes a little higher, I think you were saying, Bert, I don't want to speak for you. If you go a little higher than that, then maybe you're going to start seeing some death. Be careful with that, Kyle. But be careful with it. I agree with Rob. Just be careful with it. So, bacteria has been at the forefront of my thinking for a very long time. Hit up Moki. Moki will tell you the same thing. I've been bugging him with bacteria this, bacteria that, bacteria blah, blah, blah. 7.8, 8.3 every day. Haven't noticed anything going on. See? You could... Swings are okay as long as your tank is filled with healthy corals. Or the bad bacteria in your tank that can kill your corals don't exist. Something to think about. I did a thing with Joey. Joey hit me up. Joey's like, hey, why don't you come on your show? He goes, I don't know you, but I want you on my show. I'm like, cool. Happy to help. That'd be fun. I'd be honored. So Tamara, Joe, and I hung out a couple weeks ago. Shot this video. This is 2 hours. We didn't get technical at all, and we just sort of if you listen to it, it's like we were chilling on the couch drinking and just hanging out, because all we did was talk about all sorts of different things, and some of it was reefing, some of it was freshwater, most of it was life. It was a pretty cool conversation. We had fun. We wandered all over the place. So, Nico Bar, no. I say no to Nico Bar. The Nico Bar has misspellings on their website, like on the very front page, a double word, and I'm like, no. The Nico Bar it looks like a run at some money. And it's no different than, like, the AliExpress bar. Sorry, reading. I got stuck there for a second. Yeah, Peter, I would love to jump in a motorhome and roll up to Nova Scotia and, like, check out the craziness that Joey has. I don't know. It was pretty cool to talk to him. It was pretty cool hanging out. He had to go to the bathroom, so I engaged Tamara a little bit. And she was down. She was down for talking. I liked it. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with my tank. Certainly nothing wrong with this tank. And we'll just keep an eye on the display and see how it survives. But the display is the one that took the hit. The frag tank did not. But I have seen increased alkalinity, which means my coral are going to take a little break for a little while. And then I still have polyps. I still have color. I have no issues, no peeling, no death. But it's only been a day. Theoretically, with no bad bacteria, I shouldn't suffer any deaths. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. This coral is growing out. You can't see my mouse in the screen, but this coral is growing out of the water. This is a piece. Buddy, my Tyler gave me a piece from the National Aquarium in Baltimore. It's the Monty that they have growing in one of their big tanks, and I've had it in my tank for a few years now. It's ugly, but it's happy, and it likes to grow. So if anybody wants a cool Monty and you're close, hit me up, because I got to break some of this off. It's just freaking huge. All right, we could talk about this, I suppose. This is the last one, and I already showed the sticker misplacement, which is just silly. If you're going to sell me an $80 light, you better have the damn sticker on there straight, right? That's how I feel. Let me show the spectrum of this thing. Joey said I need to get one of those little button thingies to make this a little easier for me. But I don't have that, so I'm going to turn this off. And I'm going to turn this on. So that's the spectrum. I'll overlay this on like a couple other lights. But this is that Reef Bright. I have 1, 2, 3, now 4 different Reef Brights. 2 shorties, a 24 XHO, and and this one, which is the Lumi. This thing pulls 15.5 watts. That's it. This is a 15.5 watt for $80, $82. And it's only a single spectrum. It's 452 nanometers. The thing that caught my attention is this cut line right there. Because I don't know if y'all have played with like LED tapes before, adhesive tapes. And I was like, that sure looks like a cut line. This doesn't look like a tape, and it has a legit Reef Bright number right there. Like, this is made for them, I'm assuming, because it certainly looks like it. It's just not a lot of light. 15.5 watts, $80. It's just not all that impressive to me. But I hadn't seen one, hadn't taken one apart. So I thought we would do that. What? You got that, Carlos? Where am I located, Mikey? I'm in Maryland. Yeah, AliExpress. I'd like to see the overlay of it compared to AliExpress bar. That's a 470. Right? So if you buy a stock AliExpress bar, it's just 470 and it's $45. This is $80 and it's just 452. So what you would probably like to see is a custom AliExpress bar, so 450, 470 to match a regular Reef Bright, or any spectrum that you want overlaid this. Does that make sense? So, I mean, AliExpress is very clear what their light. I mean, that Popular Grow light is just 470 unless you hit up the manufacturer and ask them for a custom bar. That's $60 for a 24-inch. This is $80 for a 24-inch, and you're not going to get this custom at all. Does that answer your question, NSB? Here's what I don't like. They do this with the XHOs too. This is stupid. Don't do this. They put this little reflective thing on there to hide the ends of their bars. Other companies will mask off the bottom of the plastic with black or something. I mean, they could even do it with silver if they wanted to, and it makes it look substantially less cheap. This looks like they cut it on a paper cutter or something and just stick it on there. It's on both sides. It just makes it look cheap. This, it has a conformal coating. This could probably, this isn't sealed. But this is conformally coated. So this would survive splashing where a regular XHO won't. And And then this. Can I pop this up? Let's see. This looks like a little flat plate. It is. With gobs of, well, you can't see. You see it? Heat transfer goo. So this is metal. So this is made for them. This is weaker, right? The what's the XHO do? This is 15. XHO does. I'm gonna go look real quick because I don't want to say the wrong thing. Please hold. I need to put this someplace where everybody can get at this spreadsheet because it gives. When I got my act together and I was doing it correctly, it has the wattage of the light at spectrum. It has all of the PAR data, that kind of stuff. Reef Bright, 29 watts. So a regular XHO pulls 29 watts. An AliExpress bar pulls 20 watts. This pulls 15.5 for $80. Sodium bicarbonate, calcium, yes, half as potent. Interesting. Having a reef to reef BRS on my post. Very few reefers know 2 years of equal soda ash and calcium without ever testing calcium. Never issues. Yeah, totally, Bert. I can't tell you the last time I tested calcium. You don't have to. Like, I don't get why Trident tests what it tests, but let me look. The last time I tested calcium. How come my internet is screwed up? Things are slow. I'm gaming. Or I'm streaming. The kid is gaming. It's been 5 months since I tested calcium. I don't see a need to do it. Filipino Reefer, you're sassy. You're a sasshole tonight. I like it. It is a bit of a big commercial. Plus, it looks like the old, like, MySpace. Because there's, like, ads everywhere, and they're always emailing. And it's nothing I want to see. Don't send me those emails, Reef to Reef, because I'm not going to look. I do like Humblefish. I hang out over there more. It's less commercial. You got banned. Starting to nose around his site. Sorry, I'm reading. Yeah, so back to this. This isn't as horrible as like the XHO. The XHO is just crap. The way it's put together is unnecessary. It is not clean at all. This is better built. This came from China or something, right? This showed up. Reef Bright didn't do this. I don't think. I don't think so. But this, and they put the stickers on. Maybe that's what assembled in the United States means. Or maybe they did this clear thing with those shiny things or something. I don't know. But I really doubt they did any of this conformal at their factory. But this is better put together than an XHO. I have not tested PAR. The spread of an XHO is the best bar ever. I've never seen it spread better. But the PAR on an XHO is super, super low. If this matches like the PAR, then it would be certainly a better option. But it's still too expensive when you can get in like an AliExpress bar for $45 or $60 if you want that to be custom, if that makes sense. And I would always, I use 2 stock 470 bars over the frag tank with the Mitras. And then I have a custom bar over the display that I put together myself, and that's like 425, 445, and 470 nanometers, somewhere around there. So, I don't know. This isn't horrible. Like, this doesn't suck out loud. I think the XHOs suck out loud, but this isn't bad. It's just, like I said, it's just too expensive for what you get. You can do better. If you want the name brand, so be it. But you can certainly do better with a bar that's really well made. And then we're all kind of psyched for Lucas bars as well, because I'm interested in playing with him. He's lighting up his tree outside for the holidays. I was like, bruh, I want a bar. He'll get there. Oh, Bert, you're such a free thinker. That's a, and I talk about that I talked about that a little bit. How right, not losing your voice. If you lose your voice, then who the hell are you? But it's like everybody's like soft. You talk about salt, you talk about lights, you talk about a concept of alkalinity. Spikes not killing corals, and suddenly you're, like I've always said, you're talking about somebody's mama and they lose their shit. Like, come on, just talk. And if you're going to talk, show up with some data, because I'm going to challenge it. I need to check. I did a video with Humblefish. I wonder if that's posted. Go to Barnes and Nobles. I don't read. I don't like reading. I know I should, but I don't. Answers made the site free. It's not easy nor cheap to run a forum like that. Other sites run ad-free, and they make their money other ways instead of ads. Reef Ghost. Ads suck. I block ads. The way Reef to Reef configures their ads makes it difficult to block ads, so I don't hang out on Reef to Reef. It's not that expensive to run a forum like that, and given the number of sponsors they have, I challenge the need for advertising. I think that's a load of crap. Think about it. They're doing just fine, I'm sure. Yeah, Rob already beat me to it. $4-foot night crew reef lights are $80 for 200 par. Almost perfect spectrum. What does perfect spectrum mean? Now you got me intrigued. Are they night crew bars? Is that what you're telling me? Holy crap, there's 73 people in here. How'd that happen? Is that freaking Joey? Damn Joey. He's a pesky bugger, isn't he? I like talking with him. I chat on Discord too. Dave, you need to come over and hang out with Discord with us. Come chill. Pride in their abilities, sure. Cognitive dissonance. Reef Beat Boys, humor refreshing. Yeah, they're funny. Richard Ross hit me up for an option for backup. I don't know that he's going to do anything with it, but I gave him all the data he would need to pull that off if he wanted to. The ads come from the sponsors. Yeah, of course they do. Brave, agreed. I wonder, does it work? Brave works on Reef to Reef. I like blocking ads and then posting screenshots of no ads. $5,000 for an advertising banner. Is that real data? I do like and Lynn makes a good point. She had I think Reef to Reef used one of her pictures on their Instagram without citing who took the picture, and Lynn challenged Reef to Reef and made them change their policy on using people's pictures. So that was a good one. She took care of that. I don't like... yeah, that's an interesting question too. I also don't like live sales, so I don't know. It's busy over there. I don't like it. It looks like MySpace. Bars tested with Senai, old Senai. See, now you got me wanting to look. 4-foot night crew, huh? Night crew. Because I like that night crew bar. Or night crew light. I kept that. You have a link? No, not these. Not these cheapies. These cheapies? How much? Wasn't you or somebody. Is it the Night Crew Classic LED aquarium light? No way. It's got to be something else. Not the submersible. Aquarium light. Here's a big LED bar with SMDs. $80? Huh. I'll have to take a look. Neil, roger that too. Agreed. Yeah, they not too diverse of a crowd over that way. $5,000 for an ad. Ugh. What else we got? Anybody got any questions? Any concerns? Any challenges? Any things you'd like to see me do differently that I'm not going to do differently? For reals? Is it the same as the 24-inch? Night Crew Sky LED plus aquarium light planet tanks. Nope, that's not the one I want. I'm going to check this out. That's interesting. Here it is. Now that's planted. All right, I'll poke around later. Let's see if I can find what to find. Curious about Lucas bars. Love the wide violet and blue range. That's always been needed. I agree. Just curious if it's too Windex. You don't like the, I believe it to be the 470, Bert, that you don't like. You're not a fan of that. And it might be. You prefer light below 450, right? 450 and below. What are you running? Why don't I like Neptune? Because they're built like crap. Not the old ones. The Junior, I love that thing. I've got an Apex Junior in the basement that is totally bulletproof. I bought it used. It's rusty, and it just always works. But anything after 2016 is just crap. They're put together poorly. I have it downstairs, and I should have brought it up here. Oh, and now my temperature probe is shorted, and it's showing a temperature of 121 degrees. I need to see if the GHL temp probe works on that thing, because it's just pissing me off. They're expensive. I didn't like their marketing. Jeez, it's like a trigger for me, Mikey. I didn't like their marketing. And they're not innovative, right? So they bought the Trident. They bought the technology for the Trident. They bought the Fuge light. The dose is the same thing as the GHL Maxi. It uses the same heads and the same motors, and then they cock-block GHL, and they're like, no, you can't buy this stuff anymore. So GHL had to go work out another design because they couldn't get the motors and pumps from the OEM anymore. And then the Sky is just, it's a Coral View or a Coral Care knockoff. There's nothing in there that's innovative. And then there's the whatever. Most of it was just a marketing, really. I didn't like the used car salesman approach that Terrence would employ. And it's just I don't want to buy crappy stuff that's expensive, obviously. You see me take stuff apart. I'm just not down. Ooh, there's real questions. And I went rambling on about Neptune. Send me some info on the bacteria test. Looking to send Carlos. I'll send you my email, and I will send me yours. Actually, just send me your email, and I'll forward my test, and you can see everything that happens. My test tells me that my tank DNA test told me that I have aptasia. No shit. I got confirmation. I have a question. Where the hell did my corals go after its third day in my tank? It just wandered off. Did it go? Did it want to go to like Barbados or something? Or Aruba? It wanted to go... Did it just like die? What do you think about the current USA lights? I've never used them. I'll have to... Somebody just did a thing. Who did a thing? Somebody did a video. I haven't poked around Current USA at all, other than using one of their ramp timers on my Reef Bright XHO. I just haven't played with them. What do you think would be a good alternative to hook up with my two XR15 blues for my 50-gallon? I feel like Reef Bright XHO, it is. Gary, XHO is way overpriced and it's too weak. I would not use those with XR15s. XR15 blues have the blue pretty well covered, but you could still do every other 430. You could treat it just like a regular Pro. You could do 430 and 470 every other on an AliExpress bar, and it would complement the blues really well. If you need more info on that or like spectrum data, DM me on Instagram, and I'll share the spectrum of Lynn's XR30 blue, and then what I would recommend for custom AliExpress bars. And it's a 50-gallon tank, so you would really only need two, if you wanted to, 24-inch bars. You should be okay, right? Or maybe you got to go 3 feet. Yeah. XHOs. You'd be pissed off. You'd be pissed off about the power coming out of those things too, because it's just not powerful. Wide violet and blue I'm running now is, yeah. You like a. I would like to see, Bert, your opinion of the hell was that light? A Refi Uno. I think you would. I think you are like the perfect audience for a Refi Uno, because that thing's violet and blue. Reef goes, the spectrum that Bert is running. Have you seen his tanks? We could probably start there. You should probably check out his tanks. But the spectrum he's running is perfect. Coral health. The corals will adapt, but there's nothing wrong with what Bert's got going on. If you're inclined, you can solder your own diodes. You can. And you don't even need to solder them. You could buy 3 watts from eBay or from Amazon, and you can put your AliExpress bar, I did, in my oven. And I put flux on the new diodes, and I would just replace the diodes with the new ones I wanted. It's much easier to just do it in the oven, because A, most people have one, and B, you don't have to worry about the 3-pad desolder on the AliExpress bar. It keeps it pretty clean. Daylight bar Luca posted still has a wide blue band. It does, but Bert doesn't like 470. Actually, hey Bert, Luca does make one that's... I'll throw you some data. Luca is making one that is surprisingly violet. Like, it looks like the Refi Uno. Does ICP test show high aluminum dosing calc? No, it does not. I've heard that to say, right? I've heard that. I don't have that problem. Are you seeing it, or do you know somebody who is seeing that? But all of the people that I know who are doing slurry, I've not heard once that there's a high aluminum. You want me to send him a text now? We'll get him to jump on, Peter. Carlos, you get that Trident working? If you didn't, Broke Reef Man may be able to help you. Are U.S. tanks too blue? Here in Australia and Europe, I swear we prefer whiter. Yeah, so my frag tank, Taylor, sorry. My frag tank is lit by GHL in 470 bars, and I have that as a wider spectrum, and I very much prefer that over the XR30 Gen 4 and custom LE bar that's over the display. The color is substantially better. It just looks nicer to me. But again, that's just a preference thing. I mean, baked into those spectrums is all the light the corals are going to need at the proper spectrum, but I just like to look a little better. Apex Junior got software bricked. Really? That sucks. Alcatronic, boom. Yeah, Alcatronic and the GHL KHD, they use the same technology. The GHL standalone doser with the KHD is $120 less than an Alcatronic, and it's usually in stock. If I was going to buy one right now, I would look at both the Alcatronic and the KHD. Oh, an EB8 repair. Question, I've been having bacterial bloom for about 3 months now. UV on it. That worked. But the minute I take it off, bam, bacterial bloom. What's feeding that? That's interesting. And are you dosing anything to counteract that? Lothario? That's interesting. EcoBalance. Did you start dosing it from the suggestion from the biome? No, I started dosing EcoBalance because Carlos said, yo, EcoBalance. After I was having problems with some corals late December last year, I was probably November through late January of last year. So I've been dosing EcoBalance, not since then, because I had some Microbacter 7 that I started with, but I switched over to EcoBalance. Just dose it. I did not notice a difference in coral growth, Scotty. The largest impact on my coral growth, especially the Montes, has totally been calc slurry. The Montes are just going crazy. I got to cut them back again. Stay away from... Oh, I skipped. What was that? Sorry. Stay away from Current USA. What's the experience, Lynn? Any thoughts on Solartronic? I do have thoughts, but it will be... I'm not going to share my thoughts. I didn't touch the light. But I'm not going to share my thoughts. It's really expensive. Scrolling. Yeah. I would buy the Sky before you touch the Current USA's. You should probably try the Sky first, Lynn. 450 and under, woot woot. Yeah, I mean, there's an argument for some 470, given the photosynthesis. And then there's also an argument for some green. I ditch everything after that. I don't need anything after that. Yeah, that's who it was. It was Reef Dudes. Thank you, Brian Mac. Or Travis. So I have a test or thought for you. I found running a 3-watt air pump does the same air exchange as a 25-watt skimmer at $250 less. That's kind of how I'm using my skimmer now, because I have this tiny little junk skimmer that I never empty the cup, and I just let it bubble. That's all. That's its only job. 3-watt air pump. You got data? The data was the same? I love a good blue. Sorry, I'm scrolling. I'm not keeping up tonight. It keeps jumping too. I don't know why it does that. Later, Savage. EcoBalance helped get rid of the bad bacteria for corals, but you said you still had bad stuff for fish in a tank. No, so only for specific fish, and this is probably living in all of our tanks. Keep right. So I don't have bad stuff in my tank that will impact my fish. If I happen to have pipefish or seahorses, then it could potentially be bad for them, but it's not anything I need to worry about. There's nothing in my tank that's impacting my fish. Just take it that way. Now, if you're running something else, if you're running with seahorses or pipefish, then you should, I don't know what you would have to do. It's Vibrio, but it's fish Vibrio. I don't know how you'd kill that. Oh, I gotcha. Dr. Tim makes EcoBalance. Yep. There it is. Buy from Chewy. Roger that. I do buy from Chewy too. They sell it cheap. Calc and ICP test is high in aluminum, but I have Marine Pure in the system. So are they new Marine Pure or are they older Marine Pure? Because Marine Pure doesn't have an aluminum problem either. They had a few batches that did, but that was quite a while ago. Yeah, cool, Taylor. You're jumping on with Lauren again? You going to wear your headlight? I hope so. That was a hit. iCrew Hyper Reef. Skinner. What were the wattage? I have a 100-watt one. Is that the one you're talking about? The little round one that looks an awful lot like an XR30? Or is that another one? iCrew. Yeah, dude. I got the 100-watt. It's a good light. I can pull the data up if you want. It'll take me a minute. Oh, there's a post on it. Check out my Instagram. If not, hit me up on Instagram and I can share the data with you. But Night Crew Hyper Reef, yes. Smat Farm, 95-watt, yes. Viper Spectra, yes. All of those are all pretty good. Viper Spectra is going to be a little more whiter, and it's a weird white. I don't like the white, but you can play with it. But they grow corals. I burnt out the white LED driver on my... And I see now we're talking about Viper Spectra. What kind of driver can I replace it with? It has numbers on it. I don't know if you want to get the OEM one, but you would have to get the specs off of it. It's probably a constant current driver, so maybe 600 milliamps, and it has variable voltage based on whatever, the number of diodes in an array. Redneck, hit me up on Instagram, but what you might want to... Oh, shit, I have one right here. Please hold. Oh, yeah. Remember I was talking about Shanzen? Whole bag full of these things. Oh, this is digging. This is what you get. Oh, now I'm unplugged. This is when people stop watching. They're like, this guy's effing crazy. Why does he act like this? Let me get this camera up. Please hold. I want to make sure sure I don't miss anything, too. Skinner, you got me working. Is that who that was? Nope. Skinner got denied crew. Who hit me up for this? Redneck, sorry. So much soul creep. Sorry, scrolling. It'd be interesting if you're getting aluminum out of newer Marine Pure, but I guess it's possible. Don't need that. Oh, it's hidden behind numbers. Or hidden behind that little bar thingy. That sucks. Ooh. Everybody gonna throw up. That thing right there. I could probably get the numbers off that if that's something you need. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find this, but oh hell. See, this is when I need somebody else on here talking, right? So the current is 505 to 530. So no higher than 525 is what I would say. So I would look for a constant current driver. At 525 milliamps. And the voltage range has to be 800 to, or 80 to 100 volts. So what I would do is I would get a hold of Rapid LED. Somebody mentioned them earlier today, and those guys are awesome. I'd hit up Rapid LED, and I would tell them, you want a driver that's 500 to 530 milliamps and 80 to 100 volts. That work? Hope that helps. If not, you just find people with broken Viper Spectras. Or, what were those other lights that are just like these? Shh, I can't remember. There's another one that uses the same parts. That's true about the fan thingy. You may need a 12 volt something for the fan thingy. Roger that fan thingy. I appreciate that language. At what point do you switch from saturated, which is 2 teaspoons per gallon, to slurry? So you can do a gradual switch, Travis, because, you can go 4 teaspoons per gallon. And you could just build your way up until you feel that you've reached that level that that you can dose at whatever you'd like to dose at, whatever rate and volume. And then, right, you could just work your way up. So slurry can be whatever you want. You could do saturated calc the way I do slurry in the big bucket with a J-Bow power head in that thing. You could totally do that. And then just start adding more calc as your tank needs it. But you just always got to remember, and when I say more calc, I'm saying in a different container that you mix up, so you always are mixing the same concentration. Pour that in your tank, or pour that in your dosing container that you're continuously mixing, and you'd be good to go, if that makes sense. And Rob mentions a really good point there when you're exceed your evaporation rates, but I've only done it that way at the very beginning of my calc. I didn't do it that way. What I did was and maybe Rob's meaning this, but I stopped dosing saturated calc when during the summer I was overfilling my sump. So I would hit my high level in my sump, and maybe that's what Rob's alluding to, which makes sense to me. But still keep your ATO in a separate container. Or you should use them, Soft Coral Kingdom and Macroalgae. ID for Airstone. ASAF. Not ASDF. Thanks for the subscription. Reading. What's up, Johnny B? See, you caught me when I ran out of shit to talk about. Somebody tell Reef Bread to make better lights. They better, because they're going to become irrelevant. T5's about done. I hope they're working on something. I just don't like their price. So there's that. At least this one's better made. All right. That's it. That's all I got. $8.50. I haven't been playing with anything else. I ran that EVA32 that's been repaired for a long time, making sure that it was not going to break. And it is working like a champ. Reef Ghost, that's cool of you. Thanks for subbing. Thank you for your thumbs up. For reals, thank you. That's cool. Lighting for that 650 XXL 5 foot by 2 by 2. We'll talk. I appreciate the DM. Things have been cool. The Discord, so I don't talk about that a whole lot, right? Kessel Spectrum for Night Crew is possible. Kessel Spectrum for Night Crew. I'd have to look at my Spectrum data. Again, hit me up on Instagram and I'll send you the data. I don't think there was... Kessel has UV, like real UV. I don't remember that the Night Crew... It doesn't. The Night Crew does not have real UV. But I do have the Night Crew Spectrum captured, so I can send that to you. Maybe I could even do a little overlay with a Kessel. But thank you. You have a good one too. Thank you for your support. Can you talk about how janky all my processors are? You can talk about how janky all my processes. Oh, your processes. They're no jankier than mine. I'm the one that's knocking pH up to about 9.1, which is just stupid. Avast. Yeah. Yeah, you got to roll with that. I've talked about it before. I don't get calc stirs. It just leads to too much. I think, like, in my brain, it leads to too much inconsistent concentration dosing, but I'm sure y'all have that figured out. It just doesn't make sense to me, and I certainly wouldn't pay that money for those things. Are there quantum board reef lights besides Philips? What's that mean? The Sky and the Philips look the same. What you mean? What's a quantum board? You got me stumped. This has to be the coolest and most non-biased channel on the internet. No. Nope. This is this is the dumbest channel on the internet. That's what this is. Not because of y'all, because of me. Because I have my biases, right? In all honesty, I have my biases, right? I am so not a fan of Neptune, but I'm biased against bad manufacturing and bad engineering. That's a bias, right? But I have them. I bought 2. I have 3 Apexes. I got a Sky. I bought that. It's up there. I bought a Dose, but then I converted it to run on GHL. All these stories are old, right? Y'all have heard all these things. New Current USA has real UV. Sleaze, send me that. Real UV. You're going to get me spun up. Get me spun up about Neptune and then get me all spun up about UV. That's not UV. If Current USA has 400 to 405, that's not UV. Thanks, Bert. Take care, sir. Thank you for what you do. Later, Taylor. Congratulations again. My calculator said it was completely separate from my ATO. Agreed, Travis. That is 100% the way to do it. From my perspective. You can do it, right? Everybody? I mean, people do it. I don't think you should do it. Oh, we didn't talk about this janky power supply, did we? Whatever. This Reaper comes with the cheapest. It rattles with the cheapest power supply ever. Quantum LED grow lamp boards. I'm unable to find them in Reef Spectrum. I got too much crap on my desk to be Googling. Quantum LED grow LM301 Bravo. Highest yield grow lamps. Is this for weed? Are they only made for... Oh, this is interesting. Spider Farmer. Oh, yep, that's weed. I'll have to look. I don't know anything about this. Can you hit them up? Who's everyone, Rob? You're going to go fund me. Filipino Reefer. Filipino Reefer, you're going to go fund me for a Neptune? 2 UV, 400, 402. Yeah, that's not UV. That's violet. It's so easy. If it's below 400, it's UV. If it's above 400, it's not UV. Current USA. All right, let's look. Let's look. We'll search the internet together. I don't want your 10% off. Oh, what's that square thing? That looks just like the freaking... You think it is? Hey, what are the chances that it is? That they just licensed... Is it the Marine or the R24? That's a Nano. Marine lighting. Nope. It's the other one. Is it the little light you're talking about? What's up, Fosty? R24 squared. Which one are we talking about? They don't show me enough pictures of this light. They don't show the business end. I want to see the... What's this thing? What's this thing that you connect the lights to? This loop. What's that thing do? Do you need that to control the lights? I'm at Current USA. Oh, here's the bottom. That looks a lot like a refi. Is that what I'm looking at? I'm looking at the R24 right now. And if you look at the The diode configuration. Interesting. It looks like a what's that? What's that silly little thing you got to plug the lights into? What's that do? Loop controls both lights and power heads. I don't want that. Oh, this is that hub. Somebody hit me up about this thingy. Is that 0 to 10? That little hub is 0 to 10, that loop? Oh, a retracted message. Darn. Oh, yeah. Everybody does that bias, I agree. What's a good budget return pump for a Waterbox Cube 20? I don't know. I'd have to look at that tank. I don't know anything about it. I know Waterbox. I know what cube means. But I don't know. I mean, somebody has to have already done it. Right, Gary? Hydros plus out plus massive dose running like a truck star. Hydros. Yeah, right on. All right. Yeah, so Reef goes, if it's a small pump, totally get a little CJ. I like the little CJ pumps. Those are the only pumps I like from CJ, but those pumps are... I have a few tiny little CJs and then a medium-sized CJ in my mixing container, and that pump's always been great. See, I'm learning. New people show up, and I'm learning new things. I opened a couple tabs here, and now I need to go look because people are offering information that I haven't heard about, and I appreciate that. I talked about this. This is one of those things that makes this hobby and makes like this kind of thing fun. Is people jump in, ask questions. I have no idea, haven't heard of it before, and then I get to looking so I can get to learning. And then I think what helps me out the most is that when you all go and do it and then you share the information, because a lot of people will ask me things on Instagram and I'm like, I have no idea. That's not something I've access to. It's not something I've used. I don't have the experience. And then I will ask them to go, oh, I like that Jabo too. I do have one of those. I do like the Jabo DC pumps. But these people will say, all right, well, they're going to go do this. And I'll always ask, please follow up. Please come back and tell me what the experience was. Just so maybe there's a little piece in my head. Maybe one day I'll be able to say, I don't have the experience with it, but this person did. Go talk to them. That kind of thing. I'm all about that Jabo life. I love my little Jabo return pump. That thing's been great. Wire controllers more money than lights and glass tanks. Yeah, I agree. I think there's a couple of decent budget controllers out there, especially if you just wanted to monitor. GHL mini Wi-Fi, but it doesn't log data. That sucks. I wish it did because the interface is exactly like the P4. It's a sweet gateway controller and monitor. If you wanted to start with monitoring and move to controlling later, you could, or the Hydros. Right now, I think for the budget with track data and alarms, I think probably the Hydros is the best deal going. Lynn, you just go take a screw out of something else. That's what you walk around your house and go, that'll fit. That's what I would do. Mike Paletta. UV and lights. Yeah, I saw it. I watched that stream. I agree. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, and somebody would have to show me a study, or somebody would have to talk a little more about it. I like where Mike was going with that, actually. But he's talking about UVA. And I don't know that UVA is all that effective against the little buggers. UVB would be, but none of us have spectrometers that can read that low. The lowest spectrometer reading I can do is 320, 330, 350, somewhere in there. I mean, even the big one here, like BRS uses, it only goes down to like 380. So it's tough. I believe UVB, right? I just don't know about UVA. It's a good point, but I just don't know. It's an interesting point, but I just don't know. Johnny, that may also be, but that's a very definitive statement. You'd have to have the data to support a statement like that, because it may be, but germicidal is UVC, but UVB also impacts, right? What's our UV sterilizers that we run our water through, if we have them, on our tank? Is that UVB? Luxtronics with the retract. We'll all be able to see it in the playback. Yeah, Luxtronics, thank you. 350, 380. Everybody pay attention to Luxtronics. Remember that name. No, I think you're, Brymac, I think you're right. But I would like to know the impact, to Paletta's point, I'd like to know the impact of UVB. I run UV on timer, goes about every 2 hours or so. I have recently turned off my UV based on my Aquabiomics test results, because everybody could tell, thanks TB, everybody could tell right away that I was running UV, that I may not want to do that. So I turned it off. As soon as I got test results in the comments from Eli, I turned that off. I'm going to let that thing run for a while, and then I'm going to send in, see, now I got to go learn. I'm going to send in another Aquabiomics, running the tank the way I'm doing it right now, just to see how it does. I want to see the difference. That's what I'm looking for. I'm interested in if the seed from, I need to talk Moki into doing a test. Maybe he's going to do one. Is real UV light not? No, real UV is available in LED. Kessel has it. GHL has it. They're the main players that truly have UV, and it's right around the 380, 390 range. You can get UV that's lower, but I haven't seen it in LED reef lights. Yeah, Primax got it. We still got 53 people. Y'all have questions that I can answer because you threw up some stuff that I have no clue. So which LED light has true UV? There it is. Primax said it. GHL and Kessel. I want to get the Hydros X3 for monitoring, but only have 5 gig. 2.4. You need to have 2.4 to run Shit, all of them. All the controllers are 2.4, right? Apex is 2.4 also, isn't it? It is, because it's a stupid little... I don't know where I put it. This. What's inside the Apex is one of these little USB Wi-Fi dongles. And that's 2.4 too. A 395 peak? A 395 peak is UV, yes. You're going to need, Algae Warrior, you're going to need 2.4. It doesn't have a switchable, or you can't turn off your 5 gig to connect a 2.4 device, because that's what I can do with the Eero. I wasn't able to do it with the Orbi. If we can get manufacturers to produce 301s, which I believe Philips is already doing, the Spectrum reef tanks, DIY lights are back on the menu. Those boards only run about... Well, you got me interested. I'm going to look that up later. See, what I've heard was you can mix NEMs, cancel out chemical warfare, run UV sterilizer, heavy carbon. Is that not true? So, I'm getting to the point where I wouldn't run UV unless I have an aquabiomics that suggests I should. Carbon for warfare, I agree with. I don't have data to support that. That's the reefing collective thinking. That's what we need to do, and they're probably right. But I don't know that UV is necessary, giving what it's going to kill. Right? It's not like the corals are firing off bacteria at each other, which would require UV. What if you could treat that bacteria by dosing, say EcoBalance, something like that? Instead of running UV. So like I said, I turned mine off, and I'm going to test. I want to see what it looks like. Reading. So I think Reef the Sea Forever, it not being good to run UV 24/7, I think that's something that now, because we have some options, testing to know. So do an aquabiomics test, and then turn off your UV for a month and do another one. And then that'll also give you the opportunity to see what the tank does, how it reacts. But then you can also understand what it does to your bacteria in the tank. Or just keep doing it the way you're doing it because it's working for you, right? Yeah, agreed, Phil. Almost everything is 2.4 only. I can switch that to 5G. Can I switch that to 5G? Can you switch what to 5G? You should be able to take, I don't know, a lot of them, a lot of mesh or router, not mesh. Some routers will allow you to just switch on only the 2.4 gig channel so you can connect your reefing stuff to it. What the Eero lets me do, the Amazon, you can get that at Amazon. It's been working well. It allows me to pause 5G to connect my 2.4, then I can bring 5G back up. It's set to a timer. Stupid 2.4. We need to move on. We also need to expect controllers not to have USB Wi-Fi dongles. Yeah, Lothario, I would go slow. Take your time with it. There's a reason why you're blooming, and that's what I would be looking for. I'm sure you have, and just see what happens. Something's going on in there. totally Filipino reefer. You got to make those mistakes. 2.24, 241 meanwhile drivers typically adjusted dimmers are pretty basic. Par value is high. Interesting. All right, Phil, drive safe. That sucks. Flats suck. I don't think I even have a spare. I don't. Yeah, I agree. Controllers do need to be a lot cheaper. All right, I am going to, and I still need to play with the Reef Pi that's in that cabinet. Sheesh. How much of a price hike do you think we will see if they switch over to a new form of data transfer? Like moving over to 5 gig? Is that what you're saying for Wi-Fi? I mean, eventually it'll happen. There shouldn't be a price hike. They're using crappy radios. You can still get a crappy radio in 5 gig. I would pay more money for a controller if it had a legit 5 gig radio. That would be valuable to me because then I wouldn't have to worry about it dropping out. Which reminds me, it's time to take apart the Hydros. Has anybody taken that thing apart? I need to do that. Oh yeah, I was talking about that Patreon. Patreon.com/Telegram. Same, it's spelled the same. The Patreon gets you access to, it's $1. There are some who are generous, and that's super cool of them, but I only ask $1. And that gives you access to the Discord, which is fairly lively these days. There are some regulars in there, and some good conversations, and a lot of positive assistance, and no like shitty reef talk like you see on some of these other forums. We're a butt hurt free zone. So if you're going to bring your butt hurt, don't hang out because it's not going to work. If that makes sense. BRS will love to get a price. Everything's pretty expensive right now. All right, y'all. Do 50 cents and you'll join. You're such a sasshole. You're constant in my life, and I appreciate it. All right, y'all. No fighting words. Just help. I agree. Good point, Rob. All right, I'm out. I think I'm done. I don't see you links in the videos. No, I usually don't put it in there, Reef Ghost. I just talk about it. It's not something I promote all that much. But it's patreon.com/Telegram. TELEGRAHAM. And the Discord is accessed once you join the once you join the Patreon. Cool? We keep it simple. All right, y'all. Happy Saturday. I had a double swim meet this morning. Well, I did. My kid had a double swim meet this morning, so I'm a little tired. He did well. It was awesome to get to watch all the kids get back in the pool and race each other. That was fun. We got another one tomorrow. Busy weekend. Been working on the Civic too, trying to get the battery cycled to get that thing refurbed a little bit. Not working, so I think I'm toast there, but whatever. We'll have to figure that thing out. A little bit of real life stuff going on, a little bit of work, a little bit of holidays, a little bit of all that. So I know y'all have your real lives too. I hope they're going well. I hope everybody's safe. I hope you had a in the U.S. Hope you had a happy Thanksgiving and had some time to hang out and eat a little too much, maybe drink a little too much, maybe laugh a little too much. All right, y'all. So thank you for hanging out tonight. Thank you to those who supported. Very generous of you. Always appreciated. Unnecessary, but always appreciated. So thank you very much. Happy reefing and be kind, everybody. Thanks. Hey, if I missed anything in here, throw it at me on Instagram, please. That's the easiest way to get me. Cool? That's it. Be kind. Thank you. Bye. This is where I have to fumble my way through the turn off the stream part. Okay, bye.